r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. What is a green flag you've experienced on a first date that made you want to have a second date? First date. She was driving us to a spot to go hiking, about an hour's drive. We're talking and talking, but every once in a while we wouldn't be talking, and it just felt so comfortable and not awkward being silent together. Was just laid off the week before our second date, called her to cancel. I was down and unsure about my next move. She asked me what kind of pizza I fancy. 1 hour later she's at my doorstep with pizzas and beer to cheer me up. Married 12 years. Love you my badass plumber. He took me to an amateur stand-up comedy night. He was heartily laughing at all the jokes. They were so bad. So not funny at all. I was planning to not go on another date with him because he obviously has a bad sense of humor. As we were walking to the car he commented how bad everyone was, but he wanted to encourage them so he laughed at everyone's jokes. We've been married for 12 years now. A 2-hour date that felt like 5 minutes. At the end of it she made some silly bet with me that she said if she lost, she'd go out with me again. And of course she lost. It was about 8 green flags. She saw a hummingbird start to circle some flowers on the patio we were dining on and had to pause the conversation to just watch the little guy. We stayed at the wine bar much longer than planned, and we were trying to race to a restaurant for food before places closed. So, I offered her a piggyback ride to run it, due to her wearing heels. She jumped on, threw her arm forward and yelled, "Onward." We didn't make it to the restaurant in time, but did end up at the nearby diner for a few more hours. Been married just past 3 years now, and leaving for our honeymoon. Finally, thanks COVID, in 10 hours. Edit. Well this blew up, thanks all for the awards. Random dance at a club. She held my hand after it ended. We were married 24 years before she passed due to cancer. On our third date we watched a movie at his place. He remembered that on our first date I ordered a Dr. Pepper with my meal and a chocolate chip cookie for dessert. He had Dr. Peppers for me in the fridge and made me homemade chocolate chip cookies. He burned them but I married him 2 years later anyways. Took her out for coffee. We ended up staying for lunch, and then getting dinner. We talked for 11 hours. We've been married 12 years. We can still talk for hours. Asking me out on the second date while on the date. Showed he was interested, and that pattern of vulnerability persisted into a marriage. His communication is still unparalleled, and I'm still surprised how many details he can remember about me or us. When my girlfriend and I had our first date our mom sent her with $50, just in case I made her pay I guess, and since I paid, she made the waiter cry by tipping him the whole $50. Apparently he was having a bad day. She came to my door and my puppy got excited. Without skipping a beat, she scooped up the dog and asked where the 3 of us were going. That was 19 years ago. Puppy is gone but we've stuck together through hell and back. Among other things we talked about books, and at some point I asked for some recommendations. He said he had to think about it, but I didn't expect him to actually do. The next day he texted me a list of his favorite books, showing that he had been really thinking about me and that he didn't care about those weird texting rules, that you shouldn't text the day after a date so you won't seem too eager. Also just the fact that he wanted to talk about books. She appreciates all the small things. Biggest green flag. She told me it was because I said I liked cats. We had been dating about 6 months and she showed up at my apartment with a homemade cake on my birthday. It might sound like no big deal to some people but I had never dated a girl who cared about my birthday. I almost dropped to my knees and cried when I opened the door. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.